Well, welcome back to Project F-150. This is part 2. We're going to be pulling the engine and changing it out. We checked the engine and found that it had a spark plug out on the passenger side and had been sitting that way for 3 years. So out she comes, and we'll look for a different one. Not an easy switch. I was trained as a mechanic, but I've never pulled a 10th generation F-150 engine. We got our engine puller here that worked really well, and we got that thing out of there. I was able to find a used 150,000 mile engine for $500. It was a couple hours away, but we went and picked it up and started working on it. It did have a few problems. All right, guys, this is a 4.6 liter engine. Been working on it, kind of run into a little bit of a snag here. Putting the exhaust manifold on this side here. You can see how nice and smooth this is around this exhaust port. And smooth there. I have some pitting there, and I got some significant pitting right there, so I'm trying to figure out what is the best way to get that sealed up. So that's where we're at. Need to put these on. I did tap all these exhaust manifold studs holes tonight. We're getting a new water pump on. Trying to get a few things around. Maybe this Saturday we'll drop it in the truck. So anyhow, that's where we're at. One of the famous issues that this engine and the 5.4 have are the exhaust manifolds. Well, we replaced all those and it looked really good. We replaced the front seal on the transmission, and here's my crew that helped me out. What a great day it was as we worked there in my friend Bernie's shop getting this engine put in there. However, it was a booger to get in there. It would not sit down in right. If you've ever worked on one of these, it is quite the labor-intensive job trying to get it to sit down in there in the motor mounts and line up. We eventually got it in the afternoon, and boy, it was just an absolutely long day. Sure glad to have my two boys there, Chris and Caleb, and my friend Bernie and my friend Paul, and we just had a good time working together. Lots of laughing, a few times where we were frustrated. We got awfully dirty and had a great time. Been a little bit since I've done an update here on Project F-150. It's here at the shop still, getting so close. Worked hard today trying to get the intake manifold ready, and got the lower intake plenum, which is this. I got that put on to the upper intake and got that torqued on there. These are all the different fuel injectors. I did end up changing the throttle body over from one throttle body to the other. One of them had a broken bolt in it, and we tried to extract it. It didn't go so well. Got it out, but it wasn't looking very good. So this is, oh my goodness, this thing's heavy. So this is the whole top of the motor here. Lower intake, upper intake. Got the throttle body here, so it is basically ready to go on. I've got the fuel rail here that will go around and connect to the injectors. I still got to put some new O-rings on. Yeah, it kind of looks like a mess back here. That is the old engine sitting in the back of the truck, and the hood and everything. These are all my spare parts. These are extra wiring harness that is off the original engine. The other engine came with one, so I just used it rather than trying to reconnect everything on that. So this is my box of ignition coils. I have 16 ignition coils since I've got coils for both from both engines. So I'm going to be choosing what looks like the best 8 of them. But then I should have some extra ones along also. So I'll show you where we did end up. I ended up with the wrong intake gaskets. I don't know why I ended up with two wrong intake gaskets, but I did what I could, and The radiator is installed now, and the whole front is back together on the truck. So we have the intake that will go in there. The lower intake sits inside there, and then that big intake sits on top. We have the alternator, which will go right here. I still have to connect the remote power steering, which is this thing here, and this will come up here, and actually gotta wiggle this around a little bit. I have a bad feeling that I gotta take the lower radiator hose off and put it on the other side of that, but we'll figure that out. Anyhow, that will sit like right up here. We'll get that handled, but all these wires, all the stuff for the ignition and for the fuel injectors are all right here. This was all on there, so I just left it all there. And that all, I had to take this mess apart right here and bolt these big wiring looms into that. So I also changed this this wiring harness, which goes to the alternator. This was in better shape than the one that was in the truck. Got a new battery sitting in there, so we should be really close. Oh, I did also take off the reservoir and clean that out the best I could. It's still kind of nasty in there. I'm debating at some point I might just get another reservoir, but I think if I can find intake gaskets on Monday, I think we may try to start this on Monday. I was hoping to do it today, but gotta have the right gaskets. So that is where we are at. It's always a challenge, but I tried to keep rolling anyhow. So this is all nice and put back together, and you know, like things like transmission lines here, there, and the one down below. Got the lower radiator hose that goes there to the bottom of the radiator there, and then this little branch that comes off to the bottom of the coolant reservoir. So yeah, fun stuff. Hopefully Project F-150 will evolve into really kind of doing some other stuff on it this summer. As soon as it gets decent out, the bed is going to get painted the same color as the truck. I'll be replacing, I have goofy chrome stuff down there. That will all be gone, and I'll put the black around so it matches. The bed is from the south, and it is completely, utterly rust free. I don't know if I've showed in this truck, but this is rare. I have rocker panels, and everything is not rotten on this truck. So that is why I am putting so much time and effort into this thing. Look at that, along the bottoms of the doors. Pretty amazing, just barely some tiny bubbling. So I'm very excited. We'll get the interior cleaned up. We also did a transmission service on it already. So getting close, folks. Well, this is Rick signing out this evening. I'm tired. I'm going home. Take care. I hope you're enjoying this video, and if you are, click like, and would you subscribe to our channel, Ferguson Hobby Farms. Look at that. Got it running. Now you just gonna button it all on? Yep. Sweet. And that's the guy that did it.
Oh, hell,
Back off. Watch this. Oh, I can't. Used to a two-wheel drive. I can't reach that. Watch this. You got an AC compressor has to be replaced. So this is how nice and quiet it is. I do have something whining. I think it might be maybe the power steering or something. I'm not sure, but not too bad. Pretty quiet. Nice and quiet. Pretty happy with this. Hey, thanks a lot for watching today. Project F-150 has been quite the journey. This is part 2 of the series on this. Part 1, I'll put the link in the description if you haven't seen that. I'd love to have you join our channel, Ferguson Hobby Farm. If you like the video, click like, subscribe to our channel. We have stuff on animals, ducks and chickens and goats and horses, and just all kinds of stuff here in the country. Thank you so much for joining us in this journey.